Okay, we're going to continue with the punch.
Yes, I have another story based off what has been happening in Ekiti State. Ekiti State monarchs are threatening to invoke traditional methods, including the Yoruba gods, against kidnappers who are terrorizing the states. You know, they reminded us of the stories that we have taken so far, the killing of 2 Ekiti monarchs, the Onimojo of Imojo, Oba Olatunde Olusola, and the Elesun of Esun Ekiti. Oba Babatunde Ogunsakin. Yes. And, you know, they also talked about the school children that were abducted as well, saying that this is becoming one too many. And those 2 abductions happened, the killing and the abduction happened almost in the same area. But the Obas need to do something about this. That back in the day, they had some traditional methods that they were using to, you know, protect themselves, and, you know, it is their responsibility to also protect their people. So now they are going to be requiring from the state government security and also an ability to be able to fortify themselves to protect their people. You know, narrating that in the days of old, you cannot, you know, kill a king is sacrilege, and so the gods must be appeased. And now they are, that one of the reasons some of these things have been watered down is because of the influx of the foreign religion, that's Christianity and Islam, that has come into the society. But now they have to retrace their steps back to see how they can begin to protect their people using their own traditional methods and their gods. So I agree with them. Whatever you need to do to protect your people, that's also okay. And the traditional chiefs also need to be reinstalled to their place of power like we had back in the day. It's our tradition. We should hold on to it.
Okay, so FBN Holdings, that's First Bank Holdings, appointed billionaire businessman Femi Otedola as the new chairman of the board of directors to succeed Hamad Abdullahi. In a corporate notice filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited on Wednesday, the financial institution said Otedola was appointed at the board meeting. He has been appointed as a non-executive director in August, back in August the 15th, 2023, and his appointment was hereafter ratified by the shareholders at their last general meeting. So congratulations to him.
I'm actually really happy for him. He aspired for this, and I'm happy that he's getting it. Let's just remember that our Ivoka was also once in this same position. So let me take the CBN, still within the banking sector. The CBN has made this new order. The circular was sent yesterday on Wednesday to all the banks that they should sell out their excess dollars that they stored within 24 hours. This is a move by the CBN to reduce this exchange. The way Naira has fallen in the past few days, they are trying to see how they can shore up the Naira back, saying that a lot of banks have excess foreign exchange saved up and that they should be sold. There's something called, I just realized, it's called the NOP. That's the net open position. That the net open position, which is a requirement for managing their cash flow, should be between 0 or 20%. It should not exceed it. That's the amount of dollar they should have in comparison to the amount of deposits of dollars that they've been given should not exceed 20%. So if any bank is caught having excess of 20% of the bank shareholders' funds in dollars in stock, they would be, a sanction will be imposed on them. They're ready to sell out. So I'm hoping that if they actually execute this circular that has been given, all the major banks were listed, that we probably would have the Naira appreciate a little bit, because we can see that many people are in reactionary mode. This is not the time to buy, personal advice, this is not the time to buy dollar to keep, because it is actually very, very, it's a fake hike. Yeah. So if you are sending money to Nigeria, send money. But if a Nigerian is trying to buy dollar for keeping, this is not the season. Except you desperately need dollar, don't buy it, because that's what would keep the fake value going up.
Our money will come up.
It is already on its way up. We're praying and
Vanguard. EFCC battles religious sect over 13 billion naira money laundering for terrorists. I wish I read that story, but Nima took that story already. Otedola takes over First Bank as chairman. Northwest governors rule out negotiation with terrorists. EFCC investigating ex-ministers Sirika over Nigeria air deal, says Keyamo. Bandits kidnapped 2 sisters in Abuja, demand 30 million naira ransom. And more on Ikiti kidnap. Okay, which story?
So I have the 30 million naira ransom as according to this, just after the Ekiti kidnap, government suspected to be bandits kidnapped 2 teenage sisters from the Gwita community in Chikakore, Kubwa, Wari area council of the FCT. And this is coming 8 days after the members of the Chikakore village demonstrated before the FCT minister's office, Yeson Wiki, citing poor conditions of the main route to connecting their community as one of the reasons for the area's high rate of kidnapping. Just 8 days after, I don't think this is reprisal though, but I think the issues that makes that place porous should also be addressed. But they said the sisters, 16 and 14 years, were taken through the forest and the hills in the area, and the kidnappers have called and demanded the ransom of 30 million naira.
Okay, another story in Vanguard?
Yes, yeah. So they said to secure the release of 6 kidnapped school children, 3 teachers and their driver. Ondo State Security Outfit, codenamed Amoteco, yesterday deployed 100 of his personnel to Ekiti State. Ondo Amoteco Commander Chief Adetunji Adeleye was the one that said this while he was parading 31 suspected criminals arrested in the state. And he disclosed that Amoteco was acting on the orders of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. And the deployment set came as the Ekiti Council of Traditional Rulers urged by the Governor Biodun Oyebanji to empower them to secure their domains, which I had already taken in the other story. So they said that the reason, that's according to the Governor, that the reason why they are deploying 100 Amoteco security personnel to Ekiti State was to help secure the release of the pupils that were arrested and the killers of the monarch, to find the killers of the monarch as well. And so they are also going to be, going around to see how this can happen. That they've been given about 48, they were there in the last 48 hours and some arrests have been made already. So we should expect good news very soon on the arrest of the perpetrators of the act. And then the conversation went into how it's important that they have state policing in the different states as well, because those people will know how to understand their forests, comb their forests, they speak the language, they can always tell how criminal elements move. And so we must all look forward to having a state police.
Let me quickly take the story of the EFCC probing the former Minister for Aviation. Obviously, there's been really the new Minister of Aviation came into power. Festus Keyamo San mentioned the fact that he paused the deal on Nigerian Air and said that there was something not appropriate about the way it was executed. Right now, he said that EFCC is, there's an ongoing criminal investigation into the transaction, and he has called for a report on the transaction, that everything that happened under the former minister, Hadi Sirika, on the implementation of the Nigerian Air. If we recall, this entire Nigerian Air thing happened in just few days before the end of the administration. Yeah. So there's an investigation into it. The FSS Kamo said that there will not be any new, no privately owned company would be converted into a national carrier, that when we will do a national carrier, it will be done properly. And right now, there's an investigation into what is going, also investigating all the airlines that were the Ethiopian airline, the chairman.
Part of the deal.
They were all those part of the deal. There'll be a report to see. I'll be waiting. I thought it would come in like 3 months after, but no matter how late, we want to hear about this report because it smells too fishy. Yeah,
it was too good to be true. All of it that quick. Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune, I think our final paper. EFCC uncovers religious body laundering money for terrorists. Supreme Court dismisses Binani's appeal, affirms Fintiri as Adamawa governor. Over 4.6 million voters expected as INEC holds rerun by-elections in 26 states. Court orders the arrest of Ubara's chief of staff over alleged burning of Rivers Assembly. And COVID-19 probe. Reps Committee orders Federal Fire Service to refund 1.48 billion naira. Which story?
Okay, so the court, Federal High Court in Abuja has issued the warrant for the arrest of the Chief of Staff of Rivers State Governor Eddie Sinehi. Eddie Sinehi was the factional speaker of the State House of Assembly, and he was ordered to be arrested. He was the immediate factional leader when they had that wahala. And according to the news, himself and 5 other persons based in Port Harcourt were allegedly participating in some criminal activities. This was brought, the ex parte motion was brought by the IGP. Yes, that, you know, these persons were involved in criminal activities, and the application, they based it on Section 37, Section 113, Section 114, 8, and Section 84 and 184 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and Section 35 of 1999 Constitution. So I'm going to check out these sections the office to see the basis. But the IGP brought them, and they've ordered the arrest of these parties for the burning of the House of Assembly complex.
Okay, who did that story?
There's going to be by-elections. Apparently, there are 17 federal and 28 state constituencies spread across 80 local government areas and 575 registration areas and wards that will be holding a by-election that will be involving 4.6 million voters. These by-elections, we are hoping to fill some roles. There was a protest in Plateau State because they did not release the list of parties. I just want Nigerians to calm down, because you are doing by-election because there were issues with the previous one. So let the INEC people get it right. Let's trust that INEC is doing their best to ensure they get it right. And even if there's a bit of delay, give them, don't scatter ground. Don't burn down anything that would cause wahala just because you want the election to be fine.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review.